Hello Libra, welcome to my channel. I'm your Cosmic Auntie, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be your monthly reading. First and foremost, I'm really glad you're here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I appreciate every view, every like, every comment, every subscriber, anyone who's purchased my extended readings or donated to the channel. Like, it really means a lot to me. It is such an honor to share something so special with you, and the channel wouldn't be what it is without you. So yes, so big warm welcome back to anyone who has been here before, and a big warm hello to anyone who is new. Once again, it is a pleasure to have you. Okay, I'm excited to get into this energetic chat here, Libra. The energy has been incredibly transformative. The moon's nodes are shifting into your, well, the south node is shifting into your sign, Libra, north node shifting into Aries. This last new moon in Aries was the first eclipse of that cycle. It's interesting though, because the next full moon in Scorpio is also an eclipse, so there's this kind of reverberation of the moon's nodes between these axes, and it's very interesting. It's presenting throughout my readings as like a cosmic threshold. I feel as though what came through in the new moon in Aries solar eclipse reading is like the divine is airlifting us over the cosmic threshold into a whole new era, and the energy was really, Spirit was really using Lord of the Rings visuals for me, and it was speaking of Lord of the Rings is like a spiritual journey, like it reflects that, and there's so much we can learn from it, but it was about the taking the ring to Mordor, taking the ring back to its source in order to destroy it. The only way to destroy the ring is to take it back to source, and actively the Eye of Sauron is looking, is looking for that ring and drawing in that ring, and in hopes of, connecting to it and being able to control the environment. And in that reading, we're equating the ring to certain places of, pain, burden, blockages, triggers that can be pulled on, that, thwarts your, energetic environment in some way, and, asserts its control to block you from whatever process, whatever, you're intending to do, right? Ultimately, Frodo, and Sam get the ring to Mordor and throw it in the fire. Of course, Frodo not coming out unscathed, and witnessing Smeagol, succumb to the power of the ring, and ultimately fall into like the flames of Mordor, and collapsing, Frodo and Sam collapse out of exhaustion, and the eagle comes and gets them, right? With a little help from their friends, because there's support that has been assisting them in orchestrating things outside of Frodo and Sam's journey to Mordor in order to achieve that same goal. So what I'm trying to say, and then, okay, before I get into that, and then, they're taken to safety where they're cleaned up and they wake up in soft beds, and they have been, had the ability to rest and recover and reconnect with their friends, right? And so what I'm trying to say here is that the reason why I'm bringing this up, Libra, is the visual that I received for you was of a visual of like a tangled like basket of yarn, and it was all jewel toned, like bright but earthy colors, and it was all tangled up, and there was this, you know, one pair of hands that came in that was starting to like untangle it, and then several other pairs of hands joined in. And I was, as I leaned into that visual, the way that the thread, the yarn was being pulled out and rolled into a ball, right? That was made very apparent to me. And then I heard the words sorting things out. I heard helping hands, getting organized. Was that everything? The first thing though was sorting things out. So the reason why I brought up the new moon in Aries reading is, of course, Aries is your sibling sign, your opposite. And the hands helping untangle this basket. I feel, Libra, like that there's been a certain, you know, tangle that has been identified, something that needs to be, or you know, unraveled. It's an intention. We're starting with one hand. It feels as though like what's coming through your energy is that there's been an intention to unravel this basket of yarn, this knotted up, like it feels kind of painful to me, to be honest. Like there's something there with that, and it can be a bit overwhelming, and it's all tangled up. But then with this these other pairs of hands, it's and helping hands coming through, is that there's this feeling of support, and there's this feeling of just this feeling of support. So let's just see what comes through your reading. And I feel it's important to say that you have so much, you know, spirit is always there to support you. And I feel as though that there's been a huge healing journey, that there's been some sort of intention committed to when it comes to a certain place of pain within you, to unravel it, to detangle it, to organize it. And because of that, Spirit is coming in to assist you, Libra. Just like Frodo in the Fellowship of the Ring, right? Frodo is the only one who has the capacity to carry that ring. He has committed to that task. But there's the Fellowship of the Ring that has also committed to assisting him in that task. And they do that in their own unique way, right? And my axe. I just like feel that there's ancestral support, there's angelic support, there's just support from the divine, there's support from Spirit. However that looks for you. So we've got beloved, radical acceptance, lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. Yeah, ancestor energy is definitely coming in strong here. Heart, home, compassion. And then, oh my gosh, we have me talks, repairing the body, mind, and spirit. Me talks. I love that. Okay, sorry. Let's get these. Oh, they're gonna slide. Sorry, Libra. So, beloved, lay of the land, heart, home, and me talks. Well, there's so much beautiful heart energy coming through here. Heart space, healing. radical acceptance. That's so interesting, Libra. I feel like there's just, you're learning to radically accept yourself, radically love yourself, and that means loving, showing love to even the challenging parts of yourself, showing love to those the tangled ball of yarn, like to show up with love, intending to that task, tending to that, like, you know, mess. I feel as though there's things that you have detangled from the heart space, detangled from the mind, body, and spirit. And that you've shown a lot of love to yourself as you've been doing this. And I feel like a lot of ancestral guidance. There's generational healing energy here as well, clearing generational lines. There's bloodline clearing in some way. Healing when it comes to like just generational trauma in some way, like that's what I mean. And with like shadow work, right, when we go into the deep caverns of ourselves, of our soul, right, like of our psyche, like into our shadow, and we clear and we heal and we transmute, we also create more space and we get in contact with ancestral gifts. So when, you know, ancestral healing also assists in connecting to ancestral gifts. So I feel like there's definitely some ancestral gifts being unlocked, or there's a certain way that you're deepening them or expressing them or you know, utilizing them. Virgo and I talked about this too. It's like, I feel coming through your energy that there's been a process of really making a home for yourself, within yourself, to really feel at home, to feel at home with yourself, to cherish yourself, to nurture yourself, to tend to yourself, to listen to yourself, to listen to your mind, body, and spirit and what it needs. Like with me talks, I feel as though like you're listening to yourself more and providing what it is that you need, giving to yourself more. So let's do a clarifier for beloved radical acceptance. Strength. Yeah, wow. The Six of Wands. Oh, it's so victorious, Libra. You have cascaded into the depths of yourself. And have really begun to accept yourself at a whole, like, deeper level. And it feels incredibly expansive. Like, I just feel this spaciousness to be your whole self and to revel in the discovery, the continued discovery of who you are, whilst knowing and feeling your truth. I just heard boogeyman. Like, there's just an energy of like the boogeyman not scaring you anymore. Like, I sense that there's just certain things in your shadow that don't frighten you as much anymore, because you've brought your light to them, your love to them. You've turned around, arms wide open to receive them and really like face them, and again, give love to yourself, to love yourself, even the challenging parts of yourself, or the parts that you've pushed aside or suppressed, or the parts that you know, like that you hide, or the fear, or the self-sabotage, or the imposter syndrome, like whatever it is, as well as the ingenuity, the generosity, the compassion, the like all the brilliant things about you as well. There's a full spectrum acceptance, which allows for the dynamic dimensions of you. I also sense that you've gotten in contact with your willpower. We've got Knight of Pentacles here for the lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. There's definitely things that you are cultivating in the physical world that are very, there's ancestral guidance, there's an ancestral connection in some way, and that could look differently for each and every one of you, of course, because you're your own unique beings. But yeah, there's something that there's ancestor energy coming through very, very strong here. Like, again, Spirit just showed me the yarn with all the hands. It's like, it's giving just being in the living room and being like, hanging with your aunties or your family, like, that love you feeling at home, and assisting. There's ancestral support is what I'm saying. Like, I've been saying that the whole time, but it's just like, there's just ancestral support. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles coming out here, like, this could very well be manifesting physically as well. Like, there's support around you, people that feel like home around you, who are assisting you and there to support you in being your fullest self. And celebrating your full self and loving you, but I also sense it from the spirit, in the spirit realm. Empress, my goodness. But yeah, there's definitely like ancestral support assisting you detangling parts of your psyche, your soul, your mind, body, spirit, to make room for what it is that you are cultivating in this world, and what it is that you're doing in this moment, what it is that you're building. A feelings of security and safety in your physical environment as well as your internal environment. There's like definitely a lot of like connecting to your roots kind of energy here. and cultivating from that place. Yeah, Four of Swords, heart and home, rest, restoration, healing, recovery, taking time out, judgment. There's this transcendence here, major awakenings, rebirth. It's really beautiful. Let's do me talks. Three of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. And then the Death card at the bottom of the deck. So major transformations, major transcendence, awakenings, feeling a sense of security in yourself, within yourself, you know, feeling an external sense of safety, cultivating a life that you enjoy living. I also feel like you're really giving to yourself, and there's a big thing with that, like really giving to yourself, really listening to yourself. And then, you know, because I sense, Libra, like sometimes the Libra energy can identify that, like you're very, very smart, you're very, very keen, very, very perceptive. You can identify it's like that you may, you know, want to take some time out, like you need to recharge, you need to refresh, you know, there's something that you know you need, there's something, and you sidestep that and assist someone else because you have this keen like connection to that, to the other, right? Like that's you, Libra, and the invitation here is to remember that you are also important. You are an individual and have needs as well as others. That's where Aries comes in, right? The I am and then the other. So what I'm trying to say here is I sense you've really learned some very powerful self-care methods and like radical self-care, radical self-love, radical self-acceptance, and aren't depriving yourself of giving to yourself, of prioritizing yourself. And that's something that we really can do to honor our ancestors, right? Is to prioritize ourselves. And that's not to say in a selfish way, like that, you know, just to be like, that's not what I'm saying at all. And you know that. But you know, I have lots of Libra in my chart too. And sometimes I'm just like, if I do that, you know, like, does that make me a bad person? Well, no, it doesn't. It actually makes you a better person because you're able to show up feeling like recharged, feeling connected to yourself, feeling like whole, feeling so that's really cool, Libra. That's really cool because it's just what I'm saying is that you've learned and you're learning to give to yourself and prioritize yourself. And in order to recharge and refresh and connect to yourself and align yourself and feel authentic and comfortable. There's been a major healing process that has been a catalyst for this as well, with the radical self-acceptance, the Four of Swords. This healing process you know, really forced you to go deep within, and you have. And have learned how to show up for yourself. And, you know, build an authentic life and feel comfortable in your body and feel comfortable in your environment, and enjoy your harvest, and be able to show up like in this generous way without feeling depleted. That's major. I feel like your ancestors are like, whoa, like celebrating you. Look at this like person up at the mount, like up at the moon on top of the mountain, just arms wide open, just absolute like heart space open, reveling in the power of life, reveling in the power of existence. And there's this feeling of liberation. Like there's just deep ancestral healing here. And it's definitely like got spirit and your ancestors incredibly proud of you. Isn't you just becoming like you really falling in love with yourself? You feel comfortable in yourself. For those of you who are still here and resonating with this, you feel more comfortable in your mind, body, and spirit. And you've created more room for your soul to expand. You've, you know, learned how to refill your cup so that you can show up in the loving, authentic ways that you want to without feeling depleted. There's also like profound ancestral knowledge through this ancestral healing. There's ancestral gifts that you are, you know, cultivating with in some way. We have thoughts. And I put that over the Four of Swords because I feel as though that there's been this, you know, like mental time out, like taking a time out, really, you know, being discerning over your time and space in order to have the room to think, the room to you know, to be. Yeah, just the more room to be, to enjoy your space, your home, your body, nature. I like honestly feel like you're feeling yourself. Like this Queen of Pentacles feels like she, you know, she's feeling herself. Like she's in her nice robes and looking all like fresh. She's fucking, you know, tricked out, like just beautiful, ornate, holding her pentacle. The Queen of Pentacles has been through so much in order to get to be at the Queen of Pentacles. There's a lot of success here. You've built, you know, a lot. You've nurtured a lot into fruition, and the Queen of Pentacles also is here to enjoy that harvest. So I again definitely feel like there's an intention to enjoy the fruits of your labor more and take more time. There's a slower pace here. Yeah. But I heard too, like when I said that, it's a slower pace, but still busy. So there's something with that. But with the Four of Swords, I sense you're prioritizing your time to make room for yourself. Paying attention to your thoughts. You know, just again, prioritizing your time so that you can kind of zen out mentally, you know, drain all of that information, because with the Knight of Pentacles, like, you're up to stuff. Three of Wands, you're building stuff, you're taking action. With the Queen of Pentacles here, right, like, there's, you know, responsibility, there's things that have to tend to, there's things to take care of, but again, they're fruits of your labor in some way. So courage. It takes courage to prioritize yourself. Rest is the revolution, Libra. Then we have loss at the bottom of the deck. It feels as though like there's just like this sense of a nuanced, like it's here, but it's not the main thing we're talking about, but there's a deep grief process, healing process that seems to be a spark or a catalyst to this deeper expansion of radical acceptance, which has allowed more space for the soul to expand, for ancestral gifts to shine, to feel more at home with yourself, to feel alignment between your mind, body, and spirit. Navigating this loss, whatever it is, this grief process has taught you a lot about how to take care of yourself, and is assisted in radical self-love. Wow. Libra. $33, master healing. Oh. And then we have earth healing at the bottom of the deck. I'm just going to take one though. As you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionally loving guide and ascended master Serapis Bey comes to you now with a blessing of master healing to further your success on your path. So if you align with that, you know, ascended masters, working with ascended masters, Serapis Bey is definitely coming through with this card. Could be helpful to call upon, work with. But yeah, you are here to live your own life, to be true to what genuinely moves you. There is this deep sense of self-investigation here, to really get to know yourself, to really get to know what genuinely moves you, what you value, what you like. And as you've gotten in contact with those things, you know, and brought them to the surface from the subconscious, it's, you know, the snags of the jumbled up yarn basket, right? Like that, when we reach those things, we all do, right? Like that's what shadow work is. Shadow work is a practice. As our soul continues to expand and we bring our awareness into these things and we untangle those parts of ourselves, we free ourselves, we liberate ourselves. And we, again, right, ancestral healing connects us with ancestral gifts, and soul gifts, and all of this detanglement gives them more room to breathe, to expand, to go, to grow, to shine, right? I feel like a lot of you too have been really keenly paying attention to your thoughts and have been like literally rewiring your brain. And creating new pathways. That assist in your, you know, well-being. It's so cool. And realizing that you are here to live your own life, be true to what genuinely moves you. Wow. All right, let's do one of these for you, Libra. Whirling Goddess. Goddess, I said that like so. Goddess. Did I show you? Whirling Goddess. Lose your head. Not a single thread that has a head can go through the eye of the needle. Rumi. Come, my love, are you dizzy yet? If you can find your feet, then that is okay with me. But if you can still find your head, then I will take issue. There is a great dance, but it cannot be danced with choreographed steps. No, this great dance demands a response rather than initiation, a reaction rather than a direction. So let us dissemble and lose our heads to the great music, the rhythm held steady in our beating hearts. Our feet shall be moving whilst our minds, inadequate to the task, take the night off. So yeah, like that hits with the thoughts and the me talks. It's like really detoxing your mind, body, and spirit, releasing negative thought patterns, you know, conditioning, outdated beliefs, any kind of self-sabotaging energy. Like there's a lot that I sense you've been paying attention to what is getting in the way of your expansion. And showing a lot of courage in this work, in this process. And surrendering to the flow, right, to the dance. There's this letting go. And in that letting go, there's this deeper sense of wholeness. I hope that makes sense. Okay, let's get you a postcard from Spirit. Libra. Yeah, in this letting go, there's radical self-acceptance. There's just like, oh, I just can't put it into words, Libra. It's like this like exhale, and I see this like breath just like take off, and it feels so relieving, like something has left my, you know, my body. There's just like this deep sense of relief, healing. You got two, so we'll keep two. Like just this relaxing into myself. Like that's how my body is. Like I just want to like lean back. It's like this, I get this sigh of relief. There's something that's been worked through the system and released. So there's definitely a feeling here of releasing a painful cycle and a celebration because of it, and a deeper self-love because of it. Anyway, and such a strength and such a presence, Libra. Wow. It's so profound in a beautiful, beautiful way. Okay, so let's get your postcards from Spirit. Dearest you, a rigid tree branch breaks under strong winds, yet flexible seaweed survives powerful ocean swells. Right now, we gently remind you that being flexible is a good choice when faced with life's challenges. Surrender your fixed ideas to Spirit, who knows what's in your highest good and can deliver to what you need in the appropriate form. In this moment, rather than fighting or being too sure of your way working out, be a little looser and allow for another outcome. Compromise can be the best way forward if you are to learn new ways of doing and seeing. Stay aware, curious, and teachable. Take life on life's terms. Your purpose may push you in a direction not on your map yet. Let it. Be so flexible that no storm can uproot you. In the end, you will still be rooted in the world in abundance, and you will indeed experience the beauty that is yours. We love you so much. So yeah, with the Four of Swords here, the me talks, there is a sense of witnessing, surrendering, stepping back, flowing. Okay, what's the next one? Dear you, you are in such good shape right now that we're all doing a happy dance. In this moment, you have the power to make a choice to get with Spirit and co-create a miracle. You may wonder where this is all going, but if you want to manifest your desires for the highest good, you need to stay focused on the now. All power is in the present moment. Ask yourself, what are your dominant thoughts now? What beliefs are you motivated by? Do you have clarity right now? How is your conscious contact with the divine? Are you plugged in, or are you trying to do life all by your small self? Get rid of negative energy now. Resentments begone. Forgiveness and love enter. Please, forgiveness and enter, please. You can do your life beautifully and create your most powerful future right here, right now, in this moment. Aren't you thrilled to know you have a huge cheering section over here?